One of the most common questions I get from many writers is there another option to Amazon? And the answer is yes, there absolutely is, and it's IngramSpark. This is Chris Baird from selfpublishingmadeeasynow.com, where self-publishing doesn't have to be so hard. So the thing is, we're going to be hitting today IngramSpark Review 2023. Read this before you use them. I'm going to be going through a lot of points, so you're going to want to stick around as I'm moving through all the deep end of the pool when it comes to IngramSpark in a way I have not done before. But what exactly, we're going to hit IngramSpark Review, and what exactly do we want to remember with IngramSpark? What about it? Well, IngramSpark is a self-publishing platform that allows authors to publish and distribute their books in both print and digital formats. Now, so far, I know it sounds a lot like Amazon. And the platform itself is owned by the Ingram Content Group, which is the world's largest distributor. You may be thinking you thought Amazon was bigger, but you are incorrect. It is IngramSpark. And the thing is, they have a whole wide range of formats that they can publish from paperback, hardcover, the ebook versions, all of these different ones that they have, and they provide a pile of different tools that authors are able to use in order to create these specific ones. One thing I really think is kind of cool is their partnership with Findaway Voices, so you're able to produce audiobooks from your IngramSpark books, which is really good news for authors. The other thing is they offer volume discounts if you're buying a lot of books at the same time, which is something many of these other platforms do not give, including Amazon. At least last time I checked, they did not have that option available. So, feature overview. A couple things to keep in mind. We have quality print on demand books. So a couple of things here. The first thing is you have high quality printing technology. The printers and the things that they're using specifically to print are insanely good. Very, very accurate. So you're not going to find the smudging and a lot of these other things you have with lower quality distributors and the work that they put out. So you're definitely going to want to see the quality that they're doing on that. But what's more important, equally as important as the machines they're using to print, it's the paper. They have professional grade paper that is not going to have a lot of issues that low quality paper has, where the books are starting to fall apart. The ink is smudging and smearing, and it just is looking terrible. And I have seen this with some other distributors, but not with IngramSpark, since the quality is so good. The other thing is they have stringent quality control to make sure that all of the books that are coming through IngramSpark are going to be really high quality, so that when people are buying your books, they're going to be satisfied with what exactly happens, which is one of the reasons they charge for this, but we'll hit that in a little bit. So the other thing is you have multiple printing facilities globally to ensure the least amount of time in getting the books printed and sent in the mail, because they are not sitting on a pile of your books. They do print on demand for their paperbacks and their hardback books. If they see an awful lot of sales, sometimes there will be a purchase, but otherwise have a lot extra books just so that they have them already ready to go. But Amazon also does something similar to that when we see a lot of sales happening. The other thing is a lot of customizable options, almost too many, but we're also going to be hitting that in a little bit. So let's hit a few other points here. You have a steep learning curve when it comes for non-techies on IngramSpark. For the file preparation, you have to have it in the exact formats that they use. They use EPUBs, and especially I would say when it comes to the covers, understanding how to use their templates properly is going to take you a little bit of time in order to get that down. And even when you're going to take those files and upload them, it can be very difficult because the platform navigation is a little bit tricky. It's not as intuitive as Amazon's as you're moving around. Plus they have their old reports and such versus their new ones, and that makes it difficult. They have marketing and promotion also are somewhat limited compared to the massive ads and marketing services that Amazon uses. And I myself have put out 200 million times my ads have been seen on Amazon. I haven't really found the same way of running ads through IngramSpark for my books over there. The other is the sales tracking challenges. This is maybe one of the bigger ones for me. It's when we're working through and we're getting sales, you have the new sales reports and the old ones. If I want to take it to Excel and just show me the dates the sales were made, I can't get that. That information isn't there. So you sort of have to do it manually day by day in order to see how the sales are coming across on IngramSpark. So that can be a bit of a challenge if you're not a technical person and you're trying to figure out how to use the site. right? The next is you have access to the widest network of brick and mortar stores. And this is something a lot of authors really want to have. You have the print on demand, so they're able to print the books out. But for distribution, you have major retailers like Barnes & Noble, Amazon, and independent bookstores that are all using IngramSpark that allow you to do it. And that's right, Amazon also. So it shifts the books right on through Amazon. You can find yourself having your own books competing against them. This happens to me all the time, where you'll have somebody types in certain keywords and up comes the same book a couple times, which I really don't care one way or the other, as long as my book is on that platform and taking up lots of space on the first page of those search results on Amazon. I'm okay with the fact that my IngramSpark books. Mostly this is because I'm not using the same ISBN codes on the two different platforms. On IngramSpark, you're going to have to supply your own, but we'll hit that in a bit. Next is the global print network. As we said, they have these machines all over the planet that are able to produce the print-on-demand books, making it very easy to distribute your books. And the brick and mortar partnerships. One of the ones I did not mention was Books A Million, where you can order your books and it can be stocked inside of the physical stores, which is really exciting for a self-publisher who's looking to have your books in the physical stores, that's an option there when it comes to IngramSpark. So IngramSpark serves as a way to wean yourself off Amazon. If you don't want to use Amazon because you think there's lots of reasons, I'm not going to get into them, but it would be maybe the CEO or the practices or how they deal with their employees or many of these other things, that there's a couple good reasons. Because one of the things is, a good way to do it is they have multiple distribution channels, so you don't have to worry if you're going with IngramSpark. That gives you that flexibility. We have a wide range of formats that are available, so it's able to compete completely with Amazon in terms of the number of formats. You have an author-friendly pricing. Unlike Amazon, you can control much more detailed upon the pricing and in terms of the percentages that are going to be coming back to you. And again, the professional quality printing, which makes it a great substitute for Amazon if that's something you're looking for. But let's talk a little bit about IngramSpark pricing. Well, the setup fees are maybe one of the biggest challenges for a lot of authors. If you're going to do an ebook, it's going to cost you $25. If you're going to do a paperback and ebook together, you can do it for $50, which is probably a really good idea to do them both together. Also, they have promo codes that will give the ability to not have to pay the setup fees on IngramSpark. Or if you join the Alliance of Independent Authors, you will get so and so many promo codes. But I can say I've used all of mine up. I think it was like 60 you're allowed to use per year. I've already used it for 60 books on IngramSpark for this year. So that creates a little bit of a challenge there, right? You also have, again, so you had the ebooks, you had the print-on-demand fees. I think the print on demand, I think they were also $25, but it might have been $50, and then they would also include the ebooks if you pay $50. I think they were included. The ebooks would normally cost $25 by themselves. So it encourages you to do both formats. And if you're using the course that I teach, Jutoh, in order to go through how exactly to format your book yourself, it's a single click to get the ebook version versus the paperback version. Obviously, the paperback version has to go to a different file, and then we're able to produce the PDF from there. But otherwise, this is definitely something you're definitely going to want to go for both at the same time, and especially when they're connected with Findaway Voices. Oh my goodness, it's a really good deal. They do have distribution fees. So based upon the distribution, and the options are very chaotic. There are all sorts of choices. Do you want to be able to be destructive? Can people return it here? Can they do this? Can they do that? I generally want massive global distribution, so I answer yes to all of the questions that will get my books in the hands of more people, and I don't really care how it gets in their hands. So that's fine for me. They can take their royalties, but I can say the sales on IngramSpark are phenomenal compared to Amazon. The other one is additional services like editing, cover design, marketing, and for an additional fee. But so you're going to have to pay if you really want to do it. So what are the pros and cons of IngramSpark? Well, the pros are clearly this wide distribution, professional quality printing. You have the author-friendly pricing that we have where we're able to control it ourselves, multiple formats, so that's not a challenge, and the customer support can be helpful, though I would say that sometimes they have to live with the technology, and as I've said before, the menus inside the software and some of the reports that they have are terrible compared to other sites. Better than Lulu, but not anywhere near as good as Amazon when it comes to just taking out some basic reports. I want to pull out and look and explore in Excel. There's things that are missing and columns that shouldn't be there that are there. So that's a couple of the things I don't particularly care for. But here are some of the cons as well. You have a steep learning curve. As we said, if you're a non-techie, this can be a bit of a challenge. And those upfront costs, that can rule it out, especially since they do not supply the ISBN codes. They may already done it in the US, but they were talking about it But otherwise, a single ISBN, if you buy one, it's $125. And then if you're doing the $50 review fees, on top of that, you can see this is going to make you have to take a trip to the bank in order to get a loan in order to put out the books. And so that can be a challenge unless you're buying your ISBNs in bulk, and if you're actually getting the free promo codes by finding what they are for the month, or by getting in contact or joining the Alliance for Independent Authors, their second tier platform. I think you can find my affiliate link below in the description. I'm not sure if I have it there, but you can always ask me and I will tell you exactly. You can help support this channel in that exact way. It doesn't cost you anything extra, by the way. This is an important point though. When you're buying through affiliate links, it costs you absolutely nothing. Just make sure, I in fact even ask the people that I respect, can you please give me your affiliate link so I can make sure that you get paid for the useful service of informing you when it comes to this sort of information. And that's one of the reasons why I definitely do use affiliate links on all of the products that I have that I'm using on a regular basis, assuming they have them. The next con is the limited marketing support. So there's really not the same level of marketing support that we have on Amazon. So speaking of that, IngramSpark versus KDP. So when we're trying to decide between the two, KDP has a bigger audience, but less distribution channels, which is a bit of a challenge, right? I mean, they have less, so we're not able to get it out. So one option, of course, is to go with both. KDP has way better reports and responds faster, and that is so true. They definitely are able to get in there and give you responses when you have questions, and they're more or less competent for most of the questions you're asking. But they also, their support will send you bots and send you targeted emails saying, oh, somebody's questioning your rights to this book you wrote yourself. Prove you own it, and I don't ever see this sort of message coming from IngramSpark. They are not doing this game with having robots looking at my documents and doing it, which is something I really don't appreciate that Amazon does on a regular basis. IngramSpark charges up front, which is definitely something you can do for free if you do it through Amazon, but that may discourage people from publishing through them, which means they're going to make less sales. You get better sales on IngramSpark even with no reviews. That's the biggest discovery I made. I could not believe it when somebody had told me, hey, put your books on IngramSpark, and I said, why would I do that? I already have a hardcover, paperback, ebook, and audiobook. Why would I go to another platform? The answer is this massive distribution network, and whatever reason, they seem to get a lot of sales on that platform. The other thing is the pricing on IngramSpark is better for authors and a lot more flexible, but with the flexibility comes a lot of confusion about these terms and filling in all these numbers. It can be so confusing. You can get bogged down in that for a really long time. I can tell you from my own personal experience when dealing with IngramSpark that it definitely makes a lot more money for me on the paperback sales than I do on Amazon. My sales this year are already almost double what they were a year ago on IngramSpark because I'm really pushing hard. When I joined the Alliance for Independent Authors, which is a fantastic service. Their podcast is also great. And I was working through their promo codes until I've pretty much used up everything for the last year and this year. So we did the best we could, but now it looks like if you want to put them on there, you have to pay $50. But sometimes we put books on there and I'm seeing something like 10 sales, and that's $50 right there. So that pays for the next book you want to put onto the platform. And so it's definitely something to consider. But I want to know, is IngramSpark right for you? Well, it depends upon a lot of things, a lot of different factors. One of the biggest ones is, do you have the technical ability to put the books together in a way that's going to get them out there? If you're taking my course through using Jutoh on book formatting, well, then it's not a problem because it's able to spit it out in the right format for you. But you are still going to have to get the cover formatted, which you can do through Fiverr in order to get it out onto IngramSpark and selling. And just to give it a chance, take your best-selling book on Amazon, put it onto IngramSpark, and let's just see what happens. My question for you is, have you published any of your books on IngramSpark? If you have, write yes below in the comments. And if you've never done that, write no below in the comments, because I need to know exactly what your relationship was with IngramSpark. And look up above me here for the videos just like this one. Thanks.